These are the completed infrastructure projects in the implementation of our Marawi Rehabilitation. It covers the completed roads, bridges, and mosques. Again, another set of completed infrastructure projects with the corresponding implementing agencies, the fund source, the budget for the project, and the year and month these projects were completed. And just last week, I went to Marawi City and we had the ribbon cutting of the 4 barangay complexes with health center and madrasa classrooms in Datunaga, Datu Sadansalan, West Marinaut, and Moncado, Kadingilan. These are completed infrastructure projects including Baka Nursery and the repair of 2 classrooms in Bayabao Central East and 3 classrooms in Butig National High School. These are the ongoing projects in the most affected area, and all these 12 infra projects will be completed by December of 2021. That covers school buildings, the pumping bridge, School of Living Tradition, the Marawi Museum, road infrastructure with utilities, the Grand Mosque, the Peace Memorial Park, the Grand Padian Central Market, 24 barangay complexes, the City Command Center, School Building Number 2, and the Tourist Police Building. All these will be completed in December 2021, different stages of completion. Continuation of ongoing projects that would be completed by 2022. The Batomos, the Halal Slaughterhouse, the Lake Lanao Promenade, the Sarimanok Sports Complex, Convention Center. All this will be completed in different months of 2022, January, April, May 2022. The remaining 8 school buildings will be completed by June of 2022 because we are constructing 10 4 historic classrooms with 200 units in all. And of course, the 2 mosques that would be completed by November of this year. These are the ongoing projects in the less affected area. The 5 water pumping stations, new jail facility, Marawi City Police Station, solar power irrigation system in Butig, the 2 groundwater reservoir, the Salintubig Project, Lot 2, the 20 MBA Gadongan Power Substation, the 10 units of Abaca Nursery, and Abaca Warehouse with Nursery. All this will be completed by October to December 2021. Continuation of ongoing projects that will be completed by December of 2021, the water system, transmission lines, reconstruction, rehabilitation of the water district, and sewage and drainage system master plan. This being undertaken by LUA, coming from the ADB grant. All this will be completed by December 2021. The 4 road projects in the respected area being undertaken by DPWH will be completed by May of 2022, and the budget for this came from the Japan ODA. We still have ongoing procurement of the following projects: the Marawi General Hospital Phase 1, the Marawi Cooperative Livelihood Training Center being implemented by BARN, the expansion of government network DICT office in MAA by DICT, the ICT Network Operations Center, the fabrication establishment of tower antenna with fence and concrete equipment room by DICT, the MAA bulk water supply being undertaken by LUWA, the Marawi Central Fire Station, and the sewage treatment plant. With implementing agencies, fund source, the budget and timeline of completion, wherein the first 2 will be completed by December of 2021, while the remaining 6 projects will be completed in February, March, and June of 2022, respectively. As shown are the pictures of the completed infrastructure projects. On your screen are the pictures of the 5 road networks and 3 bridges that were already completed. These are the 4 majids that were completed. Actually, we had inaugurated last week the completion of the White Mosque, that's in the lower left, and the Marinaut Masjid in the lower right. You will see here that the repair, reconstruction of these four mosques were undertaken by the local contractors themselves, and everybody can say that these mosques are much more beautiful than they were before, and the Maranao people are very proud seeing this beautiful mosque now fully restored and much better than it were before. These are the completed barangay complexes. We are constructing 24 barangay complexes in the most affected area. We say it's a barangay complex because it will house the office of the barangay officials, as well as having a health center and at least two madrasa schools. You will notice here that when this was inaugurated, the four were inaugurated last week, and I have seen and I said that these barangay complexes are the most beautiful barangay halls in the whole country. This is a concept that was spearheaded by the local government unit of Marawi City. And this is a 3-in-1 facility because a madrasa school is very important in the formation of the youth, and the health center would surely ensure that the health needs of the people in their respective barangays will be attended to. These are the ongoing projects in the different stages of completion. For the new Marawi City Jail, it's 70%. The pumping bridge, 95%. Road infrastructure, 80%. The City Command Center, 60%. The School of Living Tradition, 93%. Peace Memorial Park, 78%. Marawi Museum, 91%. The Grand Padian Central Market, 70%. The 4-story school building, Building 1, 98%. And the 4-story school building 2, 48%. These are the remaining barangay complexes undergoing construction and in the different stages of completion. And almost all of this will be completed by December of 2021, Your Honors. Now we go to the housing projects. For housing projects, the task force has temporary shelter as well as permanent shelter projects. For the transitory shelters, this is the latest update. Our target was 4,916 units, and all these units were already completed. The 4,916 completed, it's now occupied by 4,214. While the remaining completed units, still the occupants still being vetted upon by the local government unit in coordination with the Task Force Bangon Marawi Field Office. These are the permanent shelters being constructed. We are targeting 2,776. We have completed 558, ongoing 729, and 370 units are now occupied. These are the permanent shelters because we have to house the IDPs living in danger zones. They are the ones living in the 20-meter easement and the of the Lake Lanao and the 3-meter easement of the river. So we have to relocate them. That's why we targeted 2,706 permanent shelters, and we have built 558 permanent shelters already.
Thank you.
By December of 2021, we target to complete another 1,818 units to bring the total of built units to 2,376. And by February of 2022, NHA will complete the remaining 200 units out of its total target. This is the picture of the completed transitory shelters in Barangay Rororagos, Barangay Buganga, Barangay Sagonsongan, and Barangay Dulay. This is the picture of our permanent shelter sites in Hadiaya Village, Dulay West, Barangay Mabantay, Gadongan, Dulay Proper, and Barangay Patani. These are the health, social welfare, and livelihood programs, completed programs, and ongoing implementation. On completed programs on social welfare, undertaken by DSWD and livelihood interventions undertaken by DTI. So you will see here that these interventions were completed in 2019, 2020, and 2021. What is the highlight of this intervention was the provision of providing cash assistance to 17,793 residents of the most affected area, and all of them were given a total of 87,400 per household. And in the less affected area, we have provided 10,000 each family, and the renters were also given 35,000 each for a total of 2.087 billion. On education, of course, the implementing agency on completed programs in the education sector. The task force through DepEd implemented various programs and activities to support the teachers, personnel, and learners. These include capacity building trainings and production of learning materials, provision of learning kits to learners, provision of school furniture to schools, and the provision of psychosocial support services to learners and DepEd personnel. For the agricultural support, the Department of Agriculture and its attached agencies, the Department of Agrarian Reform and Barn MAPAR, implemented various programs and interventions to boost the agricultural sector in Marawi and help provide sustainable sources of income for farmers, fisher folks, and cooperatives. On science and technology interventions, that's the agricultural sector. Next, please. For science and technology interventions, DOST also implemented science and technology interventions to contribute to improving the social welfare and livelihood of the IDPs as shown. Next slide will show the ongoing implementation on social welfare and agricultural support, which will be undertaken until June of 2022. So continuing ang ating social welfare and agricultural support. This is the continuation of the list of ongoing agricultural support interventions. The DOST still has 2 programs that are ongoing, which will be completed by December of 2021. This is the distribution of interventions taken during the distribution of cash assistance to IDPs by DSWD and the turnover of farm machinery and equipment to farm cooperatives by Barn Mapar with TFBM. On land resource management, this covers solid waste management and the land dispute resolution committee formation. Under the land resource management, the task force is implementing various projects, including the solid waste management led by DNR together with the Marawi LGU and the operation of the land dispute resolution committee headed by the Barn Minister of Human Settlements and Development. On solid waste management in Marawi City, we have completed solid waste management facilities as shown and ongoing solid waste management interventions. On the Land Dispute Resolution Committee, the LDRC is headed by the Minister of Human Settlements of BARM and was created to provide alternative disputes mechanisms to resolve conflicting land claims among IDPs, especially in the most affected area. Of course, it is headed by the Ministry of Human Settlements and with the vice chairpersons coming from the Land Registration Authority and Integrated Bar of the Philippines with the following members: the Office of the City Mayor, DNR, DOJ, MILG BARM, the Province of Lanao del Sur, Association of Barangay Captains, the Marawi Sultanate League, the Ulamas, the Marawi Chamber of Commerce, and the SAYOP Kopagtao for People Empowerment. We have observers from the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, the World Bank, and other NGOs and civil society organizations with the TFBM Field Office providing secretariat support. On peace, security, peace and order, the security forces of the government continues to implement initiatives and activities that are intended to maintain and promote security, peace and order in Marawi City and the rest of Lanao del Sur. And these are the initiatives and activities conducted, and this being headed by OPAP. The adoption and implementation of EO number 70 to end local communist armed conflict. OPAP and the AFP continue to conduct activities on preventing and countering violent extremism that especially target the youths. The military continues to handle peace conversation with rebels who have decided to return to the fold of government. We engage the various religious groups, the academe, the traditional leaders in order to accomplish the objectives of the rehabilitation, including the solution of implementation challenges. We engage the various CSOs as third-party monitors in the implementation of the various programs and projects in the rehabilitation of Marawi City. And finally, various civil-military relations activities are conducted to strengthen relations between the military and the community. On the status of funds, since 2017, the government has released funds to support various programs, projects, and activities to rehabilitate Marawi City and other affected municipalities. We will look into the funds released per source and the breakdown of said releases per project type. So as shown is the total amount released for Marawi Rehabilitation. Fund source coming from the NDRRM fund, total of 22 billion. 2018 unappropriated funds, 2.3 billion. Agency regular budget, 2.2 billion. Socio-civic projects funded from the Office of the President, 2 billion. Office Development Assistance, Official Development Assistance, 10.7 billion. And private donations, 594 million for a total of 40.028 billion. Out of this amount, for infra, 21.8 billion is allotted, while for non-infra, 18.2 billion is allotted, meaning to say that for infra, we utilize 55%, and for non-infra, it's 45%.